Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, devotees, thank you for joining for today's session. I'll start my screen share and then we'll read the today's purport. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we will be discussing today about Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 12th chapter, text number 3. So, today's text 3. Drashtva papi yashim srishtim natvamam bahva amanyata bhagavadhyana puhtena manasyanam tato srijat. Drashtva papi shim srishtim Natmanam bhava amanyata bhagavadhyana putena manasanam tato srijat drishtva papi shim srishtim natmanam bhava amanyata bhagavadhyana putena manasyanam tato srijat. Today's shloka is also, text also is very important. We will discuss so many details about what the Shastras are telling and how to overcome the problems that we face in this text. So let us go to translation. Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Seeing such a misleading creation as a sinful task, Brahma did not feel much pleasure in his activity, and therefore he purified himself by meditation on personality of Godhead. Then he began another term of creation. Let us see the purport. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Although he created the different influences of nescience, Lord Brahma was not satisfied in performing such a thankless task, but he had to do it because of the conditioned souls wanted it to be so. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15 chapter 15th text that he is present in everyone's heart and is helping everyone to either remember or forget. The question may be raised, why the Lord, who is all merciful, helps one to remember and another to forget? Actually, his mercy is not exhibited in partiality towards one and enmity towards another. The living entity, as part and parcel of the Lord, is partially independent because he partially possesses all the qualities of the Lord. Anyone who has some independence may sometimes misuse it due to ignorance. When the living entity prefers to misuse his independence and glide down towards nescience, the all merciful Lord, first of all, tries to protect him from the trap. But when the living entity persists in gliding down to hell, the Lord helps him to forget his real position. The Lord helps the falling living entity glide down to the lowest point just to give him the chance to see if he is happy by misusing his independence. Almost all the conditioned souls who are rotting in the material world are misusing their independence, and therefore, five kinds of nescience are imposed upon them. As an obedient servitor of the Lord, Brahma creates all these as matter of necessity, but he is not happy in doing so because a devotee of the Lord naturally does not like to see anyone falling down from his real position. Persons who do not care for the path of realization get full facilities from the Lord for executing their proclivities to the fullest extent, and Brahma helps in that procedure without fail. Let me do the prayers. Devotees, you please read the purport again until I do the prayers. This is a very important purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadahamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shrirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakalitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. Last time was my first class, so I forgot to give some credit. So this time I wanted to do that before I start the class. First of all, I want to say special thanks to ISKCON Seshadripuram temple management who has given me this chance to speak in this session, and also our dear mentor, my friend and dear mentor of Sahagar Nagar Bhakti Sadan, His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhuji. He was the one who encouraged me to take these classes. So all glories to him and to the devotees of our Bhakti Sadan and also the temple. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So we are today discussing about, this is third chapter. In the second chapter, what we discussed was, 11th chapter. In the 11th chapter, what we discussed was mainly about atoms and all the other stuff. But in this 12th chapter, the Lord Brahma is talking about the creation. Here, Maitreya Vacha, right? Maitreya is talking about the creation of Lord Brahma. Um, Now, the Lord Brahma is generally not capable by himself. He was being given the chance uh, as a creator by the Lord. So he starts making his creation. But first of all, before he starts creation, the first thing he has to create is, we'll see that in the next purports, right? First thing, he created five items that we will see we saw already in the text too. We will discuss about them also. But what we have to see here is most important thing is the condition. Here he is telling conditioned souls wanted to be so. The conditioned souls who were supposed to be in the spiritual world, who got envied, who got envy towards Krishna, that oh, he is creating, he is procreating, he is becoming the recipient of all the joy. We are not able to. Then that conditioning makes us to come into this material world. Actually, we were supposed to stay in the spiritual world only. Now, first of all, if we have to move from one place to the other, we won't be very happy about it. Like, first of all, if we stay at some place uh, and we are very happy, but if we go to some other place, if we have to go to other place, we won't be very happy about that unless we forget about that. That's why what we did is, first of all, he makes us forget that we are a spirit soul. That is when we came to this material world, and we tend to not be happy about our past. So that's the reason. First thing we get is forgetfulness of ourselves. And here he is telling already, he is he is not exhibited in partiality towards one and enmity towards other. He is same for everybody, right? And what he is also telling here, living entity is part and parcel of the Lord. We have seen in the last class, Mamai Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha, Manashashtan Indriyani, Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Mama Eva Amsha means you're certainly my part and parcel. Lord is telling that. So here, Lord, when the living entity prefers to misuse his independence. See here, the Jiva, we will see about the Jiva, the characteristics of Jiva and all that in the next slides. Through the minute independence, what is happening? He has come to gliding towards the nescience. Nescience means not knowing what is right and what is wrong. All merciful Lord, first of all, he tries to protect from the trap. But when we are not ready to listen to him, what does he do? He helps us to forget the real position. See? And then the Lord helps the falling living entity glide down to the lowest point. What happens? Say, for example, a person is taking alcohol in the beginning, for example. He feels happiness. But later on, that tolerance, the intolerance, the tolerance increases. Like, for example, the happiness that he used to get with a little quantity, he has to increase the quantity to get the same happiness. So what happens is it becomes an addiction, and it makes him totally impaired, bewildered. That's why he is telling here, the Lord is telling, the Lord helps the falling living entity glide down to the lowest point. They go totally to the lowest point, just to give him the chance to see if he is happy by misusing his independence. So when we tell somebody, especially with the kids, we tell them not to use knife or sharp objects or play carefully in Diwali, etc. They don't listen. We'll tell them once, twice, thrice, four times. Then what happens? Even if they don't listen, once they cut their hand or they burn their hand, etc., then they realize, oh, I made a mistake, I should listen. Like that. It's the same thing. He is also giving us a chance to see whether we are happy by misusing this independence. Then what happens, we will see. All the conditioned souls who are rotting in this material world are misusing their independence, right? And therefore 5 kinds of nescience are imposed on him. And he is telling, persons who don't care for the path of realization get full facilities from the Lord, for their proclivities so fully extend. See, we are getting all the facilities. What are those facilities? Let us see now, in the next slide. Okay. What are the happiness that we get in this material world? Let us discuss about that for some time. What are they? First thing, very important. We are all working very hard for what? For money. We all want more, lots and lots of money. And especially, yes, the devotees don't use the money for their own happiness. They use it for other good things. Running of the temple, for prasadam distribution, for book distribution, etc., etc., etc. Temple creation. Srila Prabhupada has told us to make nice, in a nice temple in Mayapur, right? And they are creating nice, and the devotees are giving nice donations. So but the materialists, what do they do? So what do they do? They buy gold, they buy house, they buy land, and also what else do they want? They want to be beautiful, they want to be powerful. See, here we have this person who is holding their hands, uh, the netas, right? They want to be powerful. And here, what else the people want to do? They want to be intelligent, right? They want to create big things, and they want to proclaim they are very intelligent. Next thing is famous. These people want to be famous. Like generally, these things doesn't come this comes naturally. Like they are not imposed on anyone, they come naturally. Few people want to be intelligent, few people want to be famous. What are the other things that we do? We go to the restaurant because we want to be served, right? uh, we don't want to cut the vegetables, cook and all that. So what do? We go to restaurant, or we don't want to cook because it takes such a long time. Again, after cooking, you have to clean the vessel. So much of hard work. We don't know whether housemaid will come or not, like that. So it's a laborious process. But that's why we love to go to restaurant, and we want to be served nice dishes. And next, what are the other things that the materialists do? Intoxication. When they're working so hard, they get stressed out in the office, etc., in their daily lives. So they want to regain they want to regain their happiness, they want to regain their peace. They think that, oh, if I they want to remove the stress from themselves. So they use the intoxication. See, we see here alcohol, drugs, uh, there are some tablets, there is smokes like cigarettes, etc., etc. People think that, oh, if I use this, i'll I'll relieve my stress. That is, they use it for relieving of stress. Next thing, what do we want to do? We want to have a nice family, kids, etc., etc., etc. These days people are having dogs. Previously dogs were not there much, but dogs have become part of our lives. We will see why it is so. And also, people want to be loved, right? People want to be loved, they want to be peaceful. Especially, we want to be like, we want others to speak to us in a very nice way, lovely, loving, in a peaceful manner, give them joy. Then we will be happy. And the next thing that we gain enjoyment in this material world is, especially it is illicit sex, right? People want to, they think, oh, if I do this illicit sex, we will gain happiness. And the other thing is meat eating. So in different ways, we are trying to gain happiness through our independence, right? So we were just speaking about this in the previous slides. What else? What else? We are trying to gain happiness in this material world through the independence that we have got. We want to listen to music. We want to go to nightclubs. What happens in music and nightclubs? We forget the world. We forget our real who we are, etc., etc. Like, even a person is little their body is not supporting them. Like, for example, even if they have a little niggle here and there in the body, they want to listen to music and they want to relieve the stress. And what is with the nightclubs? Nightclub means nothing but they groove into the music that is played, and they think, like, why do they move their hands and legs? Why do they jump around? It is like, it is a sense of freedom. They think, I am enjoying my life the way I want to, right? Nobody is telling them do this, do that in a nightclub. They do whatever they want to do, and they feel I'm free, and they listen to that music, and they get into the groove. They think that is enjoyment. They feel like I'm free. Sports. What is sports? We all love sports. Like, why do people love sports in general? Because there is a factor of intelligence. We want to see, if, for example, if Team India is playing or some other country is playing, what do people see in that? It is like how intelligent the team is, for example, if somebody is supporting a team, how my team is going. Like we are inclined to saying this is my team, this is not my team, etc., etc. Everybody supports some team, for example, few, and they want to see how their team is going. For example, I have my own family. In the same way, we see, oh, this is my team, my, that one. Next thing is the controlling attitude in the office that we see, the bossiness we see in the office. The bossiness happens in the office. The boss is not like, sometimes they, not all the bosses are good. Sometimes this, what do? They impose restrictions on us. There is not much peaceful environment sometimes in the office. They boss around. They say, you do that, you do this. We might not like the way uh, they talk to us, but that is the bossy nature. Bossy nature is nothing but controlling attitude. You do this, you do that, like that. And we want fashionable cars, nice cars. Nobody want to buy an old car anymore. They want the latest cars. Even if it is a second-hand one, still they want a little latest car. Next, shopping. I don't really need to say much about shopping, really, because people love shopping. They want to accumulate. They think, oh, if I accumulate more and more, it will give me happiness. Really, to tell you, there is a statistic saying we buy so many things, but most of the time we don't even use them. So shopping is something like the accumulation part. And tourism, we want to roam around the world. We want to see. Tourism means nothing but nobody will tell us where to go. Like, we can explore whatever we want to do. It is a sense of freedom, and to know, like, away from the house environment. We don't want to cook. We don't want to do anything. When we go to tourist place, we don't cook. We don't do a lot of hard work. We just enjoy. So, what is the main? For what are people trying to gain out of all this? That we have to see here. What is the common factor in all this? The common factor of all this is joy, enjoyment. We feel happiness whenever we accumulate all these things, when we achieve intelligence, etc., when people buy gold, etc., etc., when we are being served, when people eat meat, when they've been loved, when they have a family, intoxicants, music, sports, all these things, the tourism, cars, and all, fashion, and all that. Whenever we buy something, the end factor is enjoyment. We are trying to gain enjoyment out of all these things, and much more, of course. And we want attention also. When we buy all these things, when people go to restaurant, etc., what do? They post it in their Facebook page, Instagram page, etc., 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 right? So this is what we need to, the main factor here, what we need to learn is, the reason why we are doing this is for our enjoyment. So let us see whether this enjoyment is the right enjoyment. Who is enjoying? Let us see that. The first thing what we have to see is, who is the enjoyer. Let us see who is the enjoyer. And yeah, we are not this body. First of all, we have to understand we are a spirit soul. We are not this body. We are seeing this picture here. A little boy has grown to younger age, and then to the middle age, and then they're getting old, right? But the person remains the same. Who is that person? The body is changing, but the person within is the same. It is the soul. What are the characteristics of the soul? It cannot It is bomb-proof, fireproof, waterproof, windproof. That means it cannot be cut by a knife. It cannot be destroyed. It is eternal. See here, ingredients. It says ingredients are, and it is 100% transcendental. Ingredients are Sat Chit Ananda, eternal. It is eternal. Soul is eternal. And it is Chit. It is knowledgeful, and it is Ananda. It wants to be blissful. It's always in blissful mode. It always wants bliss. Next. What is common in all the souls? Let us discuss. This is very important. Souls are there, okay, but what is common in all the souls? It is the intention. What we want, the intention. Through the soul has come here with an intention. What was the intention? It was envious that Krishna is doing something. I also want to do that. It can be any factor. Krishna is gaining all the attention. I also want to gain attention. So the soul's intention was to gain attention, like that. Krishna is creating. I want to create. So that soul's intention is to create. It's like that. Some soul may think, oh, Krishna is maintaining all the universe. I also want to maintain. Krishna is controlling everything. I also want to control. So at the end of the day, all the souls have different intentions. But the main factor is we are a soul. We are not this body. And the moment we have an intention, our own intention, right? An intention that is away from Krishna's enjoyment. I want to enjoy. The moment we say I want to enjoy, the soul gets a body, right? The soul gets a body, and through this body we move. And the body, how does the body evolve? Now the question comes: how is the body maintained? It is from the nature only. The soul doesn't maintain it. The nature maintains it. And who maintains the nature? The Lord. The Lord gives instructions to the nature how it has to behave. And in that way, say we have 4 seasons, different seasons, different plants are growing. Out of that, we use the nature for our energy, and we want to enjoy in whatever ways we have seen before. Let us see what is next. Now, we have to understand first here, who is Bhagavan? What are we doing here? We have come here because we were envious of the Lord. Now let us understand who the Lord is. We have already seen this in the previous class, but I wanted to reiterate it again. It is described by Parasara Muni. Bhagavan means who possesses these 6 opulences in full: all riches, all strength, all influence. Influence means power. All wisdom, all beauty, all renunciation. Aishwaryasya samagrasya virasya yashashriyah Jnana Vairagya Yoschaiva Sannam Bhagam Tingana Vishnu Purana 6.5.47. Bhagavan means who possesses the 6 opulences in full: all rich, all strength, all powerful, all wisdom, all beauty, all renunciation. So this is the definition of Bhagavan. And see here it says the supreme possessor is Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradra Govinda, Sarva Karana Karan. This is the definition. Not that any, here Srila Prabhupada is telling, not that any rascal advertises himself as Bhagavan and he becomes Bhagavan. We have come here, we wanted to become Bhagavan, but Prabhupada is telling, you can't become Bhagavan. So Parashara Muni, father of Vasudeva, gave us what we mean by Bhagavan. Bhagavan means possesses opulence. Now, in the previous slides, we have seen someone want to become rich, someone want to become powerful, someone want to become like strength, powerful, strength, and wisdom, intelligent. We have seen that someone want to be beautiful, someone want to be renunciated, right? So what does it mean? Why Jiva, we all are trying to gain happiness in this material world using what we have seen before. But what is the meaning of Bhagavan we are seeing? Whatever we are doing there, that we are seeing here. That means what? We have come here to compete with the Lord. We want to be the Lord. That means we have come here to say, oh, why Krishna will do. So that means we have come here to compete with the Lord. Now, let us see what else is there about the Lord. Okay, the Lord not only has 6 opulences, he has 4 propensities also. He is the supreme creator, supreme proprietor, supreme controller, supreme enjoyer. Now, we are seeing in this picture, Lord Vishnu is inhaling and exhaling the universes. And what are we doing here? We are creating our own universe, a nice family. Okay, like when we are young, we want to learn how to have a new, better life, and then we marry, and then we have our own kids. We want a house, we buy land, few houses, some more land, etc. So, Lord is creating some universes. We are also creating our universes. Lord has his own bound. He doesn't have a boundary, but we are creating our boundary, right? And we want to extend that boundary every time. We want to make our universe bigger and bigger and bigger day by day. Better family, dog, for example. We saw why people are having dogs these days. The reason is people want to be loved, but people are not getting enough. If a dog, when the master comes to the home, it doesn't ask, oh, you're smelling bad, you don't look good. He doesn't see the negativity in the person. He only wags the tail, gives him or her love. It wags the tail, it is very happy to see the Lord. So when jivas are not gaining that love in this material world from other jivas, so the jiva thinks, oh, let me gain love from a dog. That's why people are having dogs these days. Previously, people used to talk to each other nicely in a nice way, but now people are comparing with each other and they're not talking to each other properly. They're envious of each other. They only see what car this person has, what house this person has. If they are equal to my assets, then I will talk. Otherwise, no use. My enjoyment is important. People think their enjoyment is more important. For that, they're ready to take sides, and people are not having happiness. They're not feeling happy in that situation. So that's why. But being happy is our natural thing. So that's why we have got dogs these days, so that the dog will never say anything negative about us. It will only give us love, and it will never complain. So that's why people want to be loved. That's so. What is this condition of being loved? Krishna want to be loved by everybody, but what did we do? Oh, why Krishna is gaining attention? Love means attention. Why Krishna is getting attention? I also want some attention. Attention and love are almost synonymous. When there is love, automatically you gain attention, and when you give attention, you automatically get love. So it's like that. So we are trying to, whatever Krishna is gaining there in spiritual world, we want to gain here in this material world. But now we have to see, and we have seen, we have, as we saw in the previous slides, the intention is the common factor of all the souls is intentions, and all the intentions are not same. The intensity of the intention is different for everybody. Few might want to become intelligent, for example, if we see the cricket team or Indian cricket team, everybody cannot become MS Dhoni, everybody cannot become Virat Kohli, right? Everybody cannot become Sachin Tendulkar. Everybody is different. Their intention to play the game is different. Everybody has different approach in their life. Everyone, their intention to achieve something is different. In the same way, the intensity is different for all our intentions. And see here, we are seeing three modes of material nature. The goodness, the passion, and mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. In the mode of ignorance, we have seen in the previous slide. See, some people want to be knowledgeful. Some people want to have unlimited desires. See, in the passion, it has people want unlimited desires. They have unlimited and free to actions. Like they want to claim that they have done something. They are happy with their achievements. And in the mode of ignorance, what do? They just sleep, and they're in madness. We have seen the people who are taking intoxication, too much of intake of all these drugs and intoxication, gambling, illicit sex. It makes people mad, and they just sleep. So we might have a lot of intentions, and they might have a lot of intensity, but Depending on that, the effects of the permutation and combination of three modes affect on us, right? If somebody is in mode of goodness, for example, they are just knowledgeful, they are happy, they don't want to have all the bad, they don't want to have, they don't want to appropriate too much. They just have a simple life. What do? They gain knowledge and they're happy about it. That's enough for me. Gaining knowledge is enough. What do they achieve? They achieve higher planets, like they go to the heavenly planets. What do they achieve in this happiness and knowledge? They are become intelligent. We have seen people who are intelligent, right, in the slides. Next thing, unlimited desires. We have seen people want to gain wealth, gold, land, house, etc., etc. We have seen so many things uh, in the slides. Unlimited desires and the fruitive actions, like they claim, I have done everything, I am the owner of everything. What happens to them after death? They will reach earthly planets. And what will this lead to in general for them? Greed. One house leads to second house, he leads to third house, and then they think, oh, we'll buy little land, and then land and they increment. They're not happy with their bank balance. They go to the bank, they take a big loan, and then they default. So it's like that. The greed increases from time to time. Next thing is ignorance. In mode of ignorance, what do they do? We just spoke about it. Intoxicants, the meat eating, the gambling, and the illicit sex, they make people mad and they sleep. What happens to these people after death? They go to hellish planets or the animal kingdom. What does this lead to? This madness and sleep? Foolish and illusion. A person who takes so much of intoxicants cannot be intelligent, right? And they are always in illusion. So what we have to see here is, we have come here to compete with the Lord and we want to be happy. But what has happened? We are digging our own pit, right? Yes, a mode of passion, a person who is in mode of passion, mode of goodness, okay, they're at least not as bad as the passion and ignorance. They're going to the higher planets. But Srila Prabhupada says, devatas who are in the heavenly planets, they think, when will I get a chance to take birth in a human body, and also in a Bharatavarsha? They want to be born in in India only, so that there is always a chance for them to become a devotee. The 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 jivas who are enjoying in the heavenly planets, they are thinking like this. Srila Prabhupada says that. So we have come here to compete with the Lord, but we have come into this cycle of this. We are trapped in the three modes of material nature. We think we are happy, but these three modes will drag us from one position to the other. So people think, let me be in at least mode of goodness. No, that is also not enough. Mode of goodness means they think they are intelligent. How can the person be intelligent? A jiva doesn't have anything of his own. The body is given, the brain is given. So instead of giving credit to the Lord, he takes the credit. So since he is taking the credit, he gets bound from that result. So he remains in the cycle of birth and death. Again, he going to go back to his home in the spiritual world. Let us see what is the next slide now. So we will just discuss what actually happened in the text 1 and text 2, what Lord Brahma was creating in the first place. So here it says, Sri Maitreya said, "O learned Vidra, so far I have explained to you the glories of the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his feature of Kala." We have seen the Kala in the 11th chapter. Now you can hear from me about the creation of Brahma, the reservoir of all knowledge. So Lord Brahma is creating. He's a reservoir. First of all, he's the reservoir of Vedic knowledge. He's not a common person, common man. He's a very intelligent. That we have to understand that. And next, in the text 2, it says Brahma first created the nescient engagements like self-deception, sense of death, anger after frustration, the sense of false ownership, and the illusory bodily conception or forgetfulness of one's real identity. So first, when Lord Brahma created, these are the things that he created in the material world. There was nothing at that time. Let us see the purport. This is very important purport. Before the factual creation of the living entities in different varieties of species, the conditions under which a living being in the material world has to live were created by Brahma. Unless a living entity forgets his real identity, it is impossible for him to live in the material conditions of life. Therefore, the first condition of material existence is forgetfulness of one's own real identity. And by forgetting one's real identity, one is sure to be afraid of death, although a pure living soul is deathless and birthless. This false identification with material nature is cause of false ownership of things. See, we have seen people want to appropriate so many things. So here, due to this false identification with the material nature, I am this, we forget that we are a soul. We think we are this body, this material world is given for our enjoyment. And that is the reason for the cause of false ownership of things, which are offered by the arrangement of supreme control, superior control. All material resources are offered to the living entity for his peaceful living and for the discharge of the duties of self-realization in conditioned life. So we are conditioned. See, uh, this skin, this body is not invincible. It if we prick something to the on the skin, it pains. Fire, if there is a lot of heat, we feel the pain. So this body is conditioned now, and we'll see old age. What are the three things that we have? Disease, old age, and death. We cannot uh, go away from them. They definitely come to us. That means this body is conditioned. So if we say here, the Lord is telling, we are actually supposed to discharge the duties of self-realization. We have to do our self-realization, how we have to realize ourselves in this conditioned life. But what are we doing? But due to false identification, the conditioned soul becomes entrapped by the sense of false ownership of the property of the Supreme Lord. So everything actually belongs to the property of the Supreme Lord. It doesn't belong to us. But what are we trying to do? We are trying to gain happiness by appropriating all these things. So we see from this verse that Brahma himself is a creation of Supreme Lord, and the five kinds of nescience which condition the living entity in material existence are creations of Brahma. It is simply ludicrous to think that living entity to be equal to Supreme Being. See, we are trying to see that, oh, I will also become Krishna. So he's telling, Srila Prabhupada is telling, simply ludicrous to think living entity to be equal to the Supreme Being, when one can understand that the conditioned souls are under the influence of Brahma's magic wand. See, we are under the influence of Brahma's magic wand. So, five kinds of nescience. Let us see what are those five kinds of nescience. Tamishra means rebellious, rejection of the Lord's service. We don't want to serve. We want to be served. Second one, Andha Tamishra, considering death to be the ultimate conclusion. People think, oh, you know, uh, until, I mean, this is until I die, I should enjoy. That's it. After death, there is nothing, right? That is the thing. Death is the last. They don't know that there is something else after death also. So they think this is it. In this life, until death, let me enjoy. Tamas, ignorance of one's position as a jiva. We don't realize that we are a jiva, right? Uh, we think this is our body and let us enjoy like that. Moha, the illusory bodily conception of life. Yeah, see, we think we are the body. That's it. We're not the jiva, we're the body. Let me enjoy this body to the fullest extent in this material world. Mahamoha, attachment for material enjoyment. So whatever we see, whatever I think will gain enjoyment, let me enjoy. So we have seen that restaurants, music, etc., etc. So many things we have seen. So these are the three kinds of nescience that were created first, so that the moment we give birth, we come into this material world, we are affected by these three nescience. So Lord Brahma has created these things first. So we see, right, because of the nescience, we think we are enjoying, but we are actually getting dragged into by the three modes of material nature, and there is a cycle. Goodness is little better. Passion and ignorance are, passion is not good, but passion actually leads to ignorance as the time goes. And once somebody is in ignorance, you tell them something about the Lord, they can't even understand. They are not in that position. So that's why our intentions and the intensity of those intentions is, we should take care of our intentions, and we should take care of the intensity of those intentions. So what happens when we do all these things, whatever we have seen in the slides, we are trying to gain enjoyment in different ways. What happens to our mind? It becomes our mind becomes overwhelmed, we become bewildered. And when person becomes bewildered, when, for example, intoxication, etc., etc., we see drugs and illicit sex, gambling, what happens with all that? The mind becomes totally bewildered. And when we get bewildered, we don't know what is right and what is wrong. Our intelligence goes away, so we make mistakes. And when we make mistakes, it becomes painful, it causes pain. And out of this, what happens? Mind becomes overwhelmed with grief. That's exactly what has happened to Arjuna in the battlefield. So here, but the most important, what is the most important thing? We have to become self-realized, right? That is the only thing that can save us from getting out of bewilderment, or not even getting into bewilderment. Once a person is got bewildered, yes, he has to get out of it. But if a person knows by reading Bhagavad Gita, etc., by associating with the devotees, etc., if they know, oh, if we do all these bad things, I'll get bewildered. Uh, let me be in self-realized person. So uh, for that is the reason self-realization is very important. uh, but who can who can who is fit to receive self-realization? Here it is saying a kind and a soft-hearted person. First of all, we have to be a soft-hearted person. But when we do all these intoxication, and when we see about me, we don't, like, we are not worried about others, we are only worried about me. That means our heart becomes a hard heart, we become a hard-hearted person. But if we have to become self-realized, first thing we have to do is we have to be soft-hearted, right? So here Arjuna was feeling a lot of, he was depressed and he has full of tears. When does a person in this material world happen all get to this position? This happens to a person who is totally intoxicated, and he doesn't want to take drugs, but the brain makes him to take drugs, intoxications, etc., etc., gambling. People don't want to gamble, but they get into that cycle of gambling. They are not able to control themselves. That is when the mind gets depressed. So this actually happened to Arjuna, but Lord is telling this will happen to the people in the material world also. If our desires are not controlled, if our intentions are not right, we become depressed, and we feel the pain. When do we have tears in the eyes? We feel pain. So what is important? See here in Bhagavad Gita 2.1 translation, the Prabhupada says, the Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man, and for this the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of material body and spirit soul. So that means he is telling here, it's not speculation, it is analytical study. And about what? There is a body and there is a soul. Both are different. We are thinking we are the body, that's it. We're not considering ourselves as a soul. So here in this Bhagavad Gita, it is written, everything is there. So what do we have to do? We have to read the Bhagavad Gita. This realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results and is situated in the fixed conception of real self. This is very important. So if we want to become self-realized, what do we have to do? We should not have attachment to the fruitive results. That means I have done this is mine. That concept should get out of we should get out of that conception. And we should always have a conception that I'm a soul, I'm not this body. I have come here to compete with the Lord. That if we have it in our mind, only then we will become soft-hearted. And then when we become soft-hearted, what will happen? We will be fit to receive the self-knowledge. So that's why these two things are very important. Not taking credit for what we do, and thinking that I'm a soul, I'm not this body. This is a very important. Only then we can understand self-knowledge, we can become self-realized, and we can read this Bhagavad Gita, we can understand. People read a lot of Bhagavad Gita, but they don't understand the chapters because they have become hard-hearted. They don't understand that they are a soul. They are not able to implement it in their life. So that's why first thing is we have to remember that we are a soul, we're not this body, and we should not give credit to ourselves. We should give credit to the Lord for whatever we achieve. Then we'll become self-realized. This is what the Lord is also telling, and Srila Prabhupada is telling in his purpose. And what happens if we don't say that? There is a conception in one of those sciences that this after death there is nothing. But here Padma Purana is telling there are 8.4 million species. That means 84 lakh species. Jalaja Navalakshani Sthavara Laksha Vimshati. Jalaja means water. Navalakshani, 9 lakhs of aquatics. Sthavara Laksha Vimshati. That means Sthavara. That means they stay on the land. They're fixed. Plants don't move, right? Plants. How many? 20 lakhs. Krimayo Rudra Sankyaha. Krimayo Rudra. Krimayo means insects and reptiles. How many? 11 lakhs. Pakshinam Dashalakshanam. Pakshinam, birds, different types of species. How many? 10 lakhs. Trimshal Laksham Pashavaha. Pashavaha means quadrupeds, like animals with 4 legs. Trimshal Laksham. Trimshal Laksham means 30 lakhs. And then Chatur Lakshani Manushaha. Humans. 4 lakhs different types of species are there. And after death, depending upon our intention and the intensity of those intentions, we will get different bodies. Whatever, like depending upon intensity, we will get different bodies. And again, first thing Prabhupada says, we will see in the next slide. This is very important purport. Everybody please concentrate. I am not able to see. 1 minute. Let me see. Yeah. Prabhupada is telling, there is a discussion between Prabhupada and the disciples. So let us read this. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, from trees, the worms, do you see the flower there? There are some butterflies. You have seen the flowers generate some worms and then they transform into butterfly. You have seen it. Then gradually they'll become birds from butterfly, and from birds, different birds. Then they will become beast, 4-legged, and then 4 legs turns into 2 hands, just like gorilla monkey. Then he will come to a beautiful form. And if you miss this opportunity, again you want to become butterfly, go on. Who will check you? Become butterfly. Nature will not excuse you. As soon as you want to become butterfly, yes, come on. Here is it. They do not know. They are thinking, this is a flickering lamp. Oh, let us enjoy. Very risky civilization. Jalaja Navalakshani Sthavara Laksha Vimshati. These are all stated in the Puranas. Right? Here, Prabhupada is talking about Hawaii picture. Somebody shows Prabhupada the Hawaii picture and the boys and girls, they're enjoying like this. What is Prabhupada is asking? Oh, what is it called? So some Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj says it is surfing. Surface, yes, surfing, spending money. You see, Prabhupada says, but there is no instruction how they are wasting their time. This human form of life, simply by jumping in the water and they are thinking I am enjoying butterfly. You see, they do not know the value of this life and the system of civilization who is encouraging them to do this without any good information. See, people are not having information. That's why they are thinking whatever they are doing is right. Pulling by force to the darkest region of hell. They do not know, although the hellish condition of life is in the front. Hellish life is in the front, but they don't know. There are so many varieties of life. They do not question where from these lives have come. Nobody want to question, oh, where did the lion come from? Where did the butterfly come from? Where did the parrot come from? They don't want to think. They only one thing, just enjoy. That's it. And here it says, there are Navalaksh, the Padma Purana says Jalaja Nava. We have seen that. We begin our life in an aquatic life because the whole world was in the beginning full of water. So we had to live within water. So there are 900,000 species of life within the water. Jalaja Navalakshani is Thavar Lakshman. And then the water dries up. As soon as the land comes out, the trees and the plants begin to grow. 2 million types of trees and plants. In this way, there are 84 million species of life. And Prabhupada is telling, what do they know, the botanists and the biologists? So it is very serious. People should take it very seriously. Krishna conscious movement, it is not humbug thing. It is based on authorized scriptures, Vedic literatures. Unfortunately, we have no customer for this knowledge. Yes. Doesn't Krishna take, somebody is asking, doesn't Krishna take special mercy of flowers that are offered to him? Yes. See, Prabhupada is telling, therefore, when it is offered, yes. Therefore, we offer flowers to Krishna. We are doing service to the flowers. So what happens is when we offer the flowers also at least get a better body in the next life. And the plant that has given the flower also gets a better body in the next life. So Prabhupada says that we may understand later. First of all, because it has come to Krishna, there is something good. The tree has produced this flower. He is benefited because he is offering his energy. Krishna consciousness means offering one's energy to Krishna. The energy is derived from Krishna. It should be offered to Krishna, just like the water is there. Just like, what is this water? Water is taken from ocean, derived from the ocean. It gives It goes to the sky, again turns to water, falls down, and in the river, goes down again to the ocean. Similarly, we have derived our energy from Krishna. Now again, if we glide down towards Krishna, that is perfection. We haven't got separate energy. This is Krishna consciousness. To apply the whole energy towards Krishna, that's all. That energy may be utilized in different ways, but to Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. Chant Hare Krishna. See, he's telling that whatever our body is there, but the energy is coming from nature. What are we doing? We are trying to enjoy for ourselves. But what do we have to do? We have to use it for the Lord. So that's what Prabhupada is telling. Let us see what he's telling next. See, all these are just the bodies, one after the body, depending upon the intention. Somebody want to gain attention, they will become a nice, beautiful flower. One, somebody want to become powerful, they will become a nice tiger. Somebody want to become, they want to live a long life, they'll become an Ashoka tree. They live hundreds of years. Like that, depending upon, if you want to cheat, you will become a spider. Like that, see, different types of crocodile is also there. Crocodile, they cheat. Different intentions. Depending upon on our intentions, we get a different body after death. And the effects of misuse, we have seen a lot of cyclones, a lot of floods, hurricanes, forest fire, ice age. People are not able to live. They think they will be happy in this material world, but there are after effects of the misuse also. For example, we think we have, especially in India, we have started adopting the Western life. But Srila Prabhupada says, you gain good and bad also. So yes, we might be enjoying the material life in this, in the Indians might be enjoying the Western life, but the after effects that are happening in the Western world will also come to us. We can't check on that. For example, there were not many mental hospitals in India, but now lots of people are having a lot of mental problems. Kids are not born in a normal way. They are born with different defects. For example, ADHD, OCD. They can't talk. They don't want to eat a few items, or sometimes they don't even eat at all. They can't talk. They play with their own feces. Like this was not there before. After we have adopted the Western culture, this has started even more. The more we compete with the Lord, the more our intentions are so high. The intensity of the intentions goes as high. The more high they go, the more ill effects will also come to us. We have to understand that the ill effects will come to us definitely. And we have seen that, right? A lot of people are buying a lot of anti-anxiety drugs. Previously, people didn't know what was mental disability, but people didn't know what is mental disability. But now, a lot of people are getting mentally disabled. People are having Alzheimer's and a lot of dementia, etc., etc. So we shouldn't think that this material will be very happy in this material world. Ill effects also come along with that. So now let us see. We have seen this forgetfulness of our dependency of the. We have seen forgetfulness. Krishna gives us the forgetfulness, but let us see in this graph what it is telling. When we are young, we are very much dependent. But when we come to the middle age, our dependency decreases. Yes, we are dependent also, but we become little independent. We think we can do whatever, especially in the teenage and in the middle life. We think we can do whatever we like. We tend to enjoy a lot. But in the beginning stage, we can't even wipe our, like, if we go to toilet, we can't even wipe. Somebody has to wipe. We don't even know where to go to the toilet, how to clean ourselves, nothing. In the same, and we're mostly dependent on the young age. But as we grow, we think, oh, we have become independent, we have gained a lot of energy, we can do whatever we want, we can take a bike or car, we will just drive around, we will enjoy the life like anything. But as we grow older, what is happening? Again, we become dependent on others. More and more we become dependent. So the Lord is telling, you may think that you're independent, you are enjoying, but your dependency will increase as you grow older. Dependency is always there, but as we grow older, that dependency that we had while we were young, that will come back to haunt you in the old age. And at that time, when we are so much inclined to all our bad habits, we cannot try to gain self-realization. So that's why we have to introduce this shastras to the kids in the young age, so they will learn, and they know that, oh, this after human body, uh, if I am properly in Krishna consciousness, I can go back home, back to Godhead, and there are another 8 lakh species. I don't want to get into those species like that. There is if the kid knows about all these things in the younger age, they can uh, manage their old age in a proper way. If a person doesn't know, especially overseas, they enjoy their life until the 50s, 55, 60s, and depression and anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's, and dementia affects them like anything. Recently, there was a study saying the food that they eat in the Western countries, actually it um, affects them to get Alzheimer's and dementia more. So that's why what did we do? We have adopted the Western civilization. So that means we have to understand that the after effects will come to us also. So the Lord is telling, you may think that you are independent, but uh, dependency will come back to you in the old age. So that's why we have to be self-realized. That's why the parents should introduce Bhagavad Gita and Shastras to the kids. It is very important so that they can live their older life in a peaceful way, and they know, yes, the way I am practicing Krishna consciousness, if I am perfectly Krishna conscious, I'll go back home, back to Godhead. They will be less stressed. The other people who doesn't know anything the Shastras in the old age, they will be so stressed, nobody is talking to them. At least a Krishna conscious person, they will be reading Shastras, they will be chanting, they'll be doing it, they'll be God, they'll have godliness. The other ones, they won't even have any godliness at all in their lives. So that's why this is very important to understand. We think we are independent, but we are not independent. We are always dependent on the Lord, but we forget the dependency. But we will be in the old age, at least if you don't understand the dependency of the Lord in the middle age and the young age, we will be reminded of our dependency of the Lord in the old age. Then they will think, oh, I misused my young age. I should have read of that. I should have done that. I should have done this. They can't hear, they can't see, they can't sit at one place, they can't move to the temple. So many problems. But in the beginning itself, if it is introduced, at least they will have a peaceful old age. That we have to understand. See here, uh, we are seeing, we're trying to see what sort of species are there in different, like insects, animals, birds, water, aquatics, trees, etc., etc. So what happens is, depending upon our intensity, a crocodile is there. What does it do? It lies in the water, it cheats, and it takes its prey into the water and it will eat. Like that. So if we are cheating in this material world to someone, not thinking about others, others' goodness, it is painful. The prey of a crocodile, when it drags the prey inside the water, it is very painful. But the crocodile doesn't care about it. The soul, when the soul does the same thing here, I don't care about others, I'll cause pain to others, will get that such sort of body. Uh, so that's why we have to understand. And the same, they say here, trees means what? What do they do? They take carbon dioxide, they give out oxygen. So that means if we are serving somebody here, taking the pain and giving enjoyment to others, we will become trees. Especially this happens to prostitutes and insects also. See, different according to our consciousness. The lowest category are the trees. From there goes up, the consciousness goes up slowly, and the last one before human beings is the animals, and then from animal the last one is either the horse or the cow, I can't remember, and then we get a human body. But if our intention is wrong, we have to go through all these species from after birth after birth. We have to take the soul takes a different body, it grows and dies and again goes to another body. So that's why when we become self-realized, when we understand that this body is very important. This human body is an opportunity, very valuable opportunity. For example, somebody has given some marbles to someone to play, and marble like diamonds. They think they are marbles and they're playing with the kids like that. So if we don't understand that it is a diamond, we'll misuse it. In the same way, this material body is a this human body is very, very important. Opportunity given by the Lord to us. So we have to utilize it properly. Otherwise, the ill effect will go through all these 8 lakh species. So it is up to us. We all go to school to have a good life, but that is only for the body. The soul, we should take care of the soul also. Then only when we become properly self-realized, we'll go back to Godhead. Now, see, self-realization. What is self-realization? Can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant. See, here it is telling Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of ignorant man. And for this purpose, Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. The chapter instructs in self-realization. The self-realization is only possible when we are without attachment to fluid results and is situated in the fixed conception of real self. This is what we want to do as a human being. And in Bhagavad Gita 9.14, it is telling after who is the recipient. Now the question comes. We are telling we are not the recipient. Who is the recipient or the benefactor? Always chanting. The Lord is telling, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. See, that's what we are supposed to do. We become self-realized and we say, oh Lord, I am not the benefactor. By doing whatever we have seen in the first few slides, who was the benefactor? Who was the recipient? We are the recipient. So the Lord is telling, no, you're not the recipient. You make me the recipient. Okay. How do we do that? We'll see in the next slides. Okay, let us see some very important quotes by Srila Prabhupada. As Brahma is thinking to create a universe, you're thinking to create a skyscraper building. The ant is thinking to create a hole within the room. The quality of the work is same. See, the quality of the work is same. But we have seen Vishnu is creating universes. We want to have our own small universe. The quality of the work is same. But because we are fools that these things are material, it will not stay. And here, the child is born immediately. There is milk in the breast of the mother. And 1 minute before, there is no milk. Just the child is born immediately. Who supplies the milk? He does not see that one Supreme is supplying all the necessities of the others. So our duty is only to become Krishna conscious. Other things will be supplied by Krishna. So the mother should think, oh, yes, she has the soul has been made, has been given a chance to become a mother. Yes, it is the propensity of creatorship. So the mother should say, oh, my dear Lord, because of you, I am able to give milk to my child. Yes, I have become a mother because of you, and I am giving milk to my child. Like that, we have to think. It's not like my child, I am the maintainer, I am the creator. No, that is not the way of thinking. What else does it say? It does not matter whether there is an increase in population, but if the people are unfaithful, they must be punished with starvation. That is God's will. See, so the Lord doesn't want us to be here all the time. He wants us to get back. If we are very happy, will we happened? Why bad things are happening? No. If COVID was not there, would people think, oh, why all these things are happening? No. So that's why he has created this COVID. He creates starvation. So then only people will think, oh, why is this happening? Why the Lord is doing all these things? Then slowly they will become self-realized. Krishna will send the army, his army, like through book distribution, etc., etc., etc. They will learn about godliness. Like that, a lot of devotees have become. In Russia, somebody has given Bhagavad Gita to an air hostess. She became a devotee in Russia. Like that. So slowly, because of this punishment only, people will become self-realized. He will give us a nice chance, but if we don't utilize the chance, then the bad things, we will be punished. So here it says, if Krishna does not supply you the sunlight, you will die. But he does not charge anything. But because you are a human being, you should try to repay. Oh, Krishna is giving us so much facilities. Let me remind. Sorry. Krishna, he does not charge anything, but because you're a human being, you should try to repay. Oh, Krishna is giving us so much facilities. Let me render some service unto him. This is Krishna consciousness. This is to acknowledge, oh God, you're so kind. You're giving us so many things. So I have collected this fruit. It is your fruit only. I know.
but still please accept. What are we trying to do here? Whom do we give something to someone, an important person to somebody who is important? We give, right? In the same way here, a servant gives something to a master. He serves. That is the quality of the service. Here, Prabhupada is telling that if by tongue you chant Hare Krishna and by Hare Krishna mantra and by the tongue you taste prasadam, you will be perfect. Simply by executing these two things. See, and whenever there is unwanted population, these three things will naturally, by nature's course, appear: famine, pestilence, and war. We are seeing one country want to conquer the other country. People are worried. They are not happy with, like, they are not able to maintain their country. So they are seeing which country has more facility for more natural resources. Let me occupy that country, and then only I'll be able to maintain my country. That's what is happening with some countries. They want to occupy. They want to occupy, and they want to wage a war. So this is what happens if we the population has increased. They are unable to maintain. Right, until now they said they were maintaining. They should understand. Yes, I am not the maintainer. Lord is the maintainer. Then everybody can live. Otherwise, this is what will happen. We have to go to another country, wage a war, create so much nuisance to the whole world. There was unwanted population at that time also, for which Krishna arranged the war, battlefield of war. See, at that time, the war has happened. If we want a very good population, very good generation, then we have to follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita. See, he is giving us the solution. And next thing, this is the last. Krishna is dancing, you have seen. Similarly, our position is simply dancing with Krishna and being happy. That is our position. But we have to come to this material world to enjoy independent of Krishna. Therefore, we have been captured by the illusory energy. See, we have been captured by the illusory energy. We have seen, right? We want to enjoy independent of Krishna. That's why we have been captured. And what happens? The ill effects. On the mirror, if there is dust, you cannot see your face very nicely. If we wipe the mirror very nicely, see the mirror, what is the dust? I'm the enjoyer. I'm the creator. I'm the proprietor. I want to enjoy. That was the dust. So how do we remove the dust? So this Hare Krishna chanting is the process of wiping out the dust accumulated on the mirror of the mind. Let us see why. Okay. So why? He's telling people will ask, oh, why we should chant? Krishna is different, chanting is different. Why I'll do the devotion, but I will not chant. So in different scriptures, it is we will discuss what they are telling about the chanting. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 6.242 Harer Nama eva kevalam kalau nasti eva gatiranyataha. Nasti eva means certain. There is not certainly. That means there is nothing else apart from the holy name. 3 times they're telling. So that means something is very important. That's why they're telling it 3 times. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way. See, because people of this age are so fallen, they can simply chant the Hare Krishna mantra. In this way, they can rid themselves of the bodily conception of life and become eligible to engage in the Lord's devotional service. One cannot engage in devotional service of the Lord without being purified of all contamination. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, 28 text. So he's telling, I'll do something else. No, that's not possible. We have to engage in devotional service of the Lord. And only by that we will become purified of all contamination. How is that? By doing the chanting of the holy name. Now, there is another purport, very important. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 16th chapter, 32 and 33 verse. Purport, this is very important. I just saw it. I thought I wanted to share it with you. The beauty and opulence of the world can be enhanced. Let us start from the second paragraph. There is nothing in the world with which the Lord is disconnected. The only thing we must learn is to excavate the source of connection and thus be linked with Him by offenseless service. We can be connected with Him by transcendental sound representation of the Lord. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord Himself are identical, and one who chants the holy name of the Lord in an offenseless manner can at once realize that the Lord is present before him. Even by the vibration of the radio sound, we can partially realize sound relativity, and by resounding the sound of transcendence, we verily feel the presence of the Lord. In this age, when everything is polluted by the contamination of Kali, it is instructed in the scriptures and preached by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can at once be free from contamination and gradually rise to the status of transcendence and go back to Godhead. The offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord himself, and the movement of pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the world. See, we have seen the lot of bad things are happening in the world. We don't know when the war will happen. People are not happy. But he's telling, this movement of pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the Lord. And only by the propagation of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord can we immune from the ill effects of age of Kali. See, in this age of Kali, we have seen a lot of hurricanes, etc., earthquakes, etc., etc. Only by the chanting of the holy name, we can get out of that. Okay, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 7.83, it says, many fools, not knowing the transcendent nature of the Harinam Mahamantra, sometimes impede our loudly chanting this Mahamantra. Yet, one who is actually advanced in the fulfillment of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra induces others to chant also. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, Krishna Sasti Vina Nahe Tara Pravartana. Unless one receives special power of attorney from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he cannot preach the glories of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As devotees propagate, the general population of the entire world gets opportunity to understand the glories of the holy name. While chanting and dancing, or hearing the holy name of the Lord, one automatically remembers Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because there is no difference between the holy name and the Krishna, the chanter is immediately linked with Krishna. See here, he is telling automatically remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means we should always give attention to the Lord. What are we doing? We are trying to gain attention to ourselves. So what do we have to do? By giving attention to the Harinam, the Hare Krishna Mantra, automatically we are giving attention to the Lord. That's what we have to do. And from attention, what comes out from attention? Love. If there is love, automatically we'll have attention. But if there is no love, we can gain love by giving attention. For example, if we give attention to someone all the time, automatically love will appear, right? This is what he's telling. Thus connected, a devotee develops his original attitude, service to God. In this attitude of constantly serving Krishna, which is called bhava, he always thinks Krishna in many different ways. One who has attained this bhava stage is no longer under the clutches of illusion energy. See, when other spiritual ingredients such as trembling, perspiration, or tears are added to this bhava stage, the devotee gradually attains love of Krishna. The holy name of Krishna is called Mahamantra. Other mantras are mentioned in Narad Panchatattva, are known simply as mantras, but by the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is called Mahamantra. See? So that's why. And here, what does the Lord tell us in Bhagavad Gita 18.65? Manmana bhava bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mame vaisheshi satyamte pratijani prayosime. What is saying? Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So here, what is he telling? Always think of me. How do we think of someone always? It's not possible. So what we have to do is, we have to see his energy. This house is made by bricks and cement. How did it come? From the nature, from the sand, etc. etc. They made cement, and the cement is being given nature to stick with water. When we mix water, cement, and sand, it becomes we can apply it to the bricks, and then the house becomes strong. Like that, everything we have to give credit to the Lord only. That's what he is telling. Always think of me. That means we have to see Krishna's energy everywhere. Plants are growing. We use a lot of etc. like tomatoes, etc. etc. Lot of veggies, green veggies, etc. We have to see. Oh, this I'm getting it from the Lord. It's not like we go to the shop and we buy. No, we have to give credit to the Lord. That is what it means by always thinking of me. Become my devotee. Devotee means what? Devoted. A person who is devoted is called a devotee. Devoted to who? To the Lord. Devoted means not having two legs. Sometime me, sometime Lord. Sometime me, sometime Lord. No, always the Lord only. Devotee means a person who is devoted to the Lord, like that. Worship me. He is telling worship. Who will worship to whom? Servant worships the master. So we have to consider, by doing devotion, by worshipping him, we are considering, I am a servant, you are the master. And offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me. So he is telling, when we do all this devotion service, when we do all this Harinam, so chanting, become my devotee means devoted. Devoted means what? While we're chanting, what are we doing? We are not thinking about ourselves. We are only giving attention to the Lord. So we are becoming a devotee of the Lord. By chanting the holy name, we become a devotee of the Lord. We are telling the Lord, oh my dear Lord, I am not giving attention to myself. I am giving attention to you, like that. And we are also telling, oh my Lord, I am your son. Please make your make me your servant, like that. We are telling Hare Krishna Mahamantra is nothing but make me your servant, like that. I am not important, you are important, and make me your servant. So then automatically love will appear, and at the time of death, whomever we love, we will remember that. And at that time, if we, since we love the Lord, we will remember the Lord and we'll go back to God. This is the process. And what is he telling in 18.66? Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So here, abandon all varieties of religion means whatever we have intentions, and we have a lot of intensities of those intentions. So he's telling, abandon all those things and surrender. Who surrenders to who? Generally, when two people are fighting, then only there is a concept of surrender. So we have come here to compete with the Lord. We have in competition with the Lord. I want to be equal to the Lord. So we want to compete with the Lord, right? And so the Lord is telling, yes, you have come to competition because of ignorance. Now what we have to do? You surrender to me. You accept defeat. Surrender is nothing but accept defeat. Oh my dear Lord, I am not the creator. I'm not the proprietor, I'm not the controller, I'm not the enjoyer. You are the creator, proprietor, controller, enjoyer. That's what Lord is telling. You become, you accept your defeat, and you accept that I'm your master. And like I mean to say, I'm a servant, you're the master. He wants us to accept defeat. That's what he is telling us, to surrender here. And then what will happen? He will remove all our sinful reactions. So and it should continue. It's not like sometimes I will surrender and again I'll do whatever I was doing before. No. So if we follow these principles, then only we'll go back to God. So we have to start giving credit to the Lord instead of taking credit for ourselves. Now it's not very easy that to accept if to saying I'm not the creator, I'm not the creator, I'm not the proprietor, to give this credit to someone. It's not very easy. These habits we have been having since millions of lifetimes. We have been having in our head. All of a sudden, you tell them, I want to become a devotee, means it's not possible. We see a lot of habits in different cultures. People play different sports. In USA, they play different sport. In Canada, in Australia, they play different sport. In India, if you go to USA, you tell them about cricket, they don't even know. Maria Sharapova was asked about Sachin Tendulkar. She said, I don't even know who this person is. So it's like that. So they were habituated with different things. So they are continuing those habits. In the same way, at least in one generation, if we change our habits, it will definitely, it will continue. That these people, like Europeans, they play soccer because it has been coming through generations. In the same way, somewhere a break should happen. One generation, if they become Krishna conscious, the next generation will become slowly Krishna conscious, like that. So we have to break our habits. Yes, habits have been coming. So we have to break our habits. Then we'll become Krishna conscious. The generation should start. At least now, the parents should start discussing shastras to their kids. See, we think it is not possible, but in the left picture top, this is the Harinam they are doing in Russia. Russians, I mean, in Russia, if you think Hinduism is, I mean to say, this godliness is there, they practicing Krishna consciousness. It's like a very surprising thing. But they're doing Harinam on the streets. They're very happy, and they're doing nice Harinam. They're introducing the Lord to the others. And here also in the right side, they're doing Harinam. Left side bottom picture, they're doing Harinam in London. Right side, it is in right side bottom, they're doing Harinam in New York. So if they can do it, we can definitely do it also. What do we have to do? We have to do ABCD, Association of Devotees, book reading, chanting, and devotion service. And also we have to follow 4 regulative principles. What are they? No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. So here, what happens is 4 regulative principles means we are the recipient. We are enjoying from those 4 things. So we are relinquishing those 4 things by following the 4 regulative principles. We are telling, I am not the enjoyer. At least we are telling, I'm not the enjoyer. And then come from ABCD, we are telling the Lord is enjoyer, like that. So we have to follow these ABCD and 4 regulative principles. Definitely, Indians can also become nice. We can all become nice devotees. It's not like only, if it is possible for these Westerners, it is definitely possible for us also. And in this Diwali, what we have to do. Diwali is coming tomorrow. What we have to do, we have to remove all the badness. What is Diwali in general? Mm, the evil, the win of goodness against evil, right? Evil means Ravana wanted. Ravana was not happy with what he has. He wanted others' wife to surrender unto him. So that is the evil concept. So here Diwali means the concept of goodness winning against evil. So in the same way, all of us have evil things in our heart. We have to, by following Krishna consciousness, we have to remove the uh, evil within us, uh, and then that is called the real happiness. We are using our independence, but not for ourselves, for the Lord. That is what we in this Diwali. Let us bring change in our lives by saying, by understanding what evil we have, and then try to get out of that evil. That is very important. By how? By chanting the holy name. See here, Hiranyakashipu thought he is invincible, but the Lord, he thought he can capture everything, but the Lord totally decimated him totally, right? Because he was giving trouble to the devotees. The Lord loves us, and that is why he has given us Bhagavad Gita. We forgot about Bhagavad Gita, but he gave us Bhagavad Gita. And then again, he came in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he has given us the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, what we have to have is perseverance. Here, Yashoda Maya persevered to catch Krishna. And by seeing the perseverance, Krishna got caught. Otherwise, it's very not possible for anybody to catch the Lord. And then catching the Lord is different. Again, binding. Say, binding to the mortar. She persevered. She got all the ropes from not only from her house, she got it from others' houses. She was showing her perseverance, and when Lord saw her perseverance, then he got bound to her, and then what did he do? He was bound, but still he was worried. Oh, wow, who other devotees I have to help? And then he helped Manigriva and Nalakuvera. So the Lord is always ready to help us. What we have to do? We have to persevere. We have to show our perseverance in chanting, in doing ABCD, in following regulative principles. Definitely, the Lord will give us the path. He will show us the path. Now the question comes: which post do we want? We have seen the lion post. Lion is a post. What does the lion show? It is strength, right? In the same way, and it is beautiful also. So in every different animals, trees, aquatics, insects, etc., it is a post. A mother is a post, father is a post. So now we have to decide what post do we want, what is our intention, and what is the intensity of that intention. We have to understand, oh, our post is to be a servant of the Lord, not to be a competitor with the Lord. Lord was telling, right? Surrender. He is asking us to surrender. That means we cannot be the master. We should always be a servant. Our post should be as a servant, not as a competitor or as a master. So now I want to give credits. Last time I forgot to give credits. Whatever I have learned today was because of ISKCON Desiratory YouTube channel and also Hare Krishna YouTube channel. A lot of, if you want to learn, gain a lot of information, it is there in Srila Prabhupada lectures for Hindi lectures of Srila Prabhupada, and also English, of course. I have listened to give this lecture, this session. For this session, I have listened to Prabhupada's lectures in Hindi. They were so amazing. A lot of information was given in that. We have to thank Srila Prabhupada for that. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And also, ISKCON Desiratory has a lot of different lectures given by the grand disciples of Prabhupada, like Gaurapadas Prabhuji and Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji, and so many other I can't remember the names, but a lot of wonderful lectures we can listen in ISKCON Desiratory channel. And also Hare Krishna YouTube channel is giving interviews, taking interviews on different bhaktas about how they came to Krishna consciousness, how they have persevered. So we can learn all these things from these channels. And also I'm learning a lot from the devotees also. Sakarnak Bhakti Sadhan and our temple. From there, we learn so many things. Every day there is Bhagavatam class. We are learning. We have to learn from all these classes, and we have to utilize our time in the right way. Especially the ISKCON Desire Tree and Bhagavad Gita. I actually forgot to say, we have to read the Bhagavad Gita book and Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. That Krishna book is very important. He said, Janma karma cha me devyam evam yogete tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameta sabhina. If we his divine activities, we will automatically come to understand that we cannot compete with him. He is displaying his divine activities to make us understand that we cannot compete with him. So we should be very grateful for Lord Krishna and for Prabhupada for writing all those books, wonderful books. Really, we are indebted to Srila Prabhupada. So I want to end the session here. I'm really sorry for the delay. Again, we are little delayed, but there was a lot of concepts to discuss. I want to say thank you to all of you. Please read Bhagavad Gita carefully and Krishna book and all this. Please listen to a lot of lectures from ISKCON Desire Tree. That will be very helpful. Thank you so much. I will end the session now. Any questions or any corrections? Please let me know.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Tanto Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhu, like a small question, Prabhu.